Okay, I think my technology is up and running. Ella is squeaking her toy in the background. I see three people in here. Actually, I think one of them is me from my computer. Hilarious. When you get in here, say hi. I'm going to try and keep up with the comments in the chat with my computer. So when I look away from you all, because I'm checking the chat on the computer, which seems to show up better than on my phone. I'm streaming from my phone. Ah, happy Tuesday. Here we are again, class number 7. How? How are we 7 weeks in, folks? That is insane. Time really does fly by. Hi, Natasha. You've been so consistent, girl. I'm so proud of you. Love, love, love that. Brenda, hi. Another consistent fit doc, core and pelvic floor goer. So good. I love it so much. It makes me feel so good to have people join me on a Tuesday night right before we settle in for the evening. I feel like this has been a pretty decent time for people getting home from work, kind of settled in. Maybe you've eaten already. I eat before sometimes, but I prefer after because if we're working on core and pelvic floor, I like to be able to like move that area and not be so full. I'm a little bloated today, but that's okay. Oh, Natasha says she loves this class. Thank you so much. That means so much to me. Before we start, I did some journaling this evening, and I just wanted to share some thoughts with you all and some points of reflection. I feel like there's still a lot of heaviness energetically in the world, in our society, in our lives, amongst our friends, our family, people we encounter during the day. And I was having a conversation with someone who came out and expressed that very, very bluntly. I'm stressed and I'm anxious and I feel depressed, and it's holding me back from X, Y, and Z, particularly exercising, eating well, sleeping well, doing all those healthy habits that we want to stack on top of each other to have an energetic and happy, healthy life. So, my thoughts around that for her are kind of what I was writing tonight, and I might just read what I wrote so that it comes out as clearly as I want it to. So, yeah, stress, anxiety, heaviness, change in our lives, seasonal depression might be coming. There's less light, there's more cold, it's dreary. This week has been more dreary. All of those things can affect you, and you might not even realize it. So, the really important thing to do right now, knowing that for the New England folks in this group, that winter is coming and it does get harder to be energetic and up and at it each day with less sunlight and more cold. So, knowing that that is coming right now is the perfect time to start solidifying your habits and creating mental fortitude so that when that moment comes, when you are feeling a little bit more down, a little bit more out of sorts, a little more anxious and stressed, you already have the habits to back you up. Now, it's really important that we understand perfection is not the goal. Now, when things are harder, we should understand and accept that we are not going to be perfect, but we are going to be consistent and we are going to show up and we have created habits. And that when we deviate from the habits, we're actually able to feel and recognize when we have deviated. So, you know, one thing I told another client today, hi, Allie, was that, um, shoot, I lost my train of thought. That's okay. Well, let me go back to talking about the other parts of this. Perfection does not mean you won't have progress. Like if you're not perfect, perfection doesn't lead to progress. Showing up, consistency, putting in what you have for that day is what shows and creates progress. And when you're faced with a hard time and you continue to work through it, you're basically building up resilience in yourself. And that's what you want. You want to be a resilient human. I love that word. You want to be able to face things and not get grounded by them in a bad way. Grounding is good, but like You don't want to get flattened by something that unexpectedly happens in your life because you're resilient, you've worked through hard things, and you can do hard things. So I had all of those reflections today, and I thought it would be fun to share them with you because you all are showing up on Tuesdays with me. So you are creating habits. You have committed to yourself. You may have had other things come up today, but you're being consistent and you're being resilient and you're here. So for that, just give yourself a moment to express some gratitude for yourself and grace for however you've been doing lately, good, bad, indifferent. It's all part of it, and you're working through it. So there was more I had to say, but we're 3 minutes into the time frame, so let's get going. Tonight I am at my home. I am not at Jesse Brown's beautiful facility. I just had a scheduling conflict, and that's okay. We're gonna make it work here tonight. It just might be a little bit tighter, and my flow might be a little bit different, and that's okay. We're being flexible and creating resilience. Um, the other thing I wanted to mention is I'm still selling shirts, and these are super cool, and I'm seeing more and more of them out in the community, and I'm so grateful for you all buying them and wearing them because I think it's a cool logo. I was wondering if any of you would be open to sharing you wearing the shirt on one of your social media platforms and tagging me in it. I would love to see that, and I would love to reshare you on my social media and just kind of show everyone else like how cool these are. So if you're open to that, please go ahead and share that on your social media and tag me. That would make me so happy. And lastly, again, free class. If you feel compelled to support me monetarily, Venmo is the way I accept donations, and I will link that in the group along with the link to get a shirt. So, anywho, without further ado, today's class is a little bit different. We're going to touch on some things that are really important to support the function and efficiency of your core and pelvic floor. Now, we have been working a lot on mobility of your hips and your mid back and rib cage to make sure that that is where you're getting mobility so that you can get stability in your pelvis and your low back. Because when you're lacking mobility through your rib cage and your mid back and your hips, guess where you're going to be trying to get mobility? In your core and in your low back, your sacrum and your pelvis. And they don't love that after a while. And that's when they throw up the white flag and say, hey, you do something different. This is not working. We're getting pain. And that is a signal that we need to work on the other areas. So we're going to work on a little bit of a mobility warm up to prepare us to learn about posture. Posture is super important for your function of your core and pelvic floor. And then beyond that, we will work a little bit on standing core to activate and get you ready to move forward in this class to functional strengthening, working on using your core and pelvic floor during functional tasks and more difficult movements. So tonight, mobility warm up, little breath warm up, posture, standing core work. Ready? Let's do it. All right. You are going to lie down on your back, and we are going to warm up with breath to get that pelvic floor and core moving in sync with each other. So on your back, your knees are bent. I will join you. Just let me set myself up here. I want you to, if you are a veteran to this class, do 5 to 6 breaths. Your inhale is letting everything expand. Let's see if you can see me here. Yes. Inhale, let everything go, let everything expand. Your rib cage goes forward, out to the side, and into your back. Your arch does not arch. Your back does not arch. Your pelvis does not move. You're relaxing everything on your inhale, including those pelvic floor muscles. Big inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. On your exhale, you're pulling your pelvic floor up and in. Your deep core corset muscle is pulling in, belly button to your spine. Nothing else moves. This is isometric contraction on your exhale. Shh. Rib cage is the last thing to come down and in. Inhale, expand, let everything go. Exhale, pull everything up and in. I'm going to sit so I can see comments and everything and continue to talk to you. Big inhale, exhale, pull it all up and in. Couple more. Inhale, exhale. Beautiful. Stay on your back. Knees are bent. Your feet are wide. I want you to do some knee rocks, left and right windshield wipers. You're still laying on your back. I'm sitting up so that I can see you all. Well, see the comments. I can't see any of you actually. I just talked to myself this entire time. Ooh, my hips are crunchy and tight. I have been lifting a little heavier in the gym, and I think my body is telling me that. So these mobility exercises and this work I do with you all is helpful for me too. Keep doing your big inhales. Send that air down into the pelvic bowl. Tell your hips to relax. Ella's making her celebrity appearance. Few more each direction. Beautiful. Lay on your or lie down on your side. We'll do our open and close book. So your knees are bent on your side. I'm just double checking comments here. Lying on your side, arms out in front of you. Big open to the other side. Big inhale. Exhale. Close it. Somebody is tapped in somehow. This is cool. Keep doing your open and close book. I think it might be Jeanette. Jeanette, I think
No.
I can hear you in the background somehow.
Stop it.
Yeah. I
How
don't
do I
know
get
how you
out?
did. How did you do that?
I don't know.
That's incredible.
I don't know how to
Um,
do it. How do
so
I?
maybe just exit completely and come back in. Wow, that was really cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, I want you to complete up to 10 on one side of your open and closed book. Big inhale, exhale, flip over to your other side. 10 on the other side. Oh my gosh, it's too funny. Yeah, Jeanette is joining us with sound. How did she do that?
Now I can't see you.
So interesting. I can hear you, which is so weird.
What the hell? I'll get out.
Does
Now I
anybody else know
can't.
how she did that? That is hilarious.
I can't get out.
Close Facebook again, maybe?
Are you there?
I am here.
I closed it all out.
That's so interesting. Huh. Okay. All right. So you finished your open and your closed books. Now hands and knees, cat cow. Remember your setup. Let me tilt that down. Hands are under your shoulders. Knees are under your hips. Excuse me, Ella. Just like Ella. We literally look like a dog. That was pretty cool. All right. Cat cow. You're going to exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. Really extend that mid back and spine between your shoulder blades. Extend your neck. Lift your chin up as high as you can. Exhale into cat. Arch that back as big as you can. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Keep moving through that at your pace with your breath. Two more each direction. Excellent. Stay hands and knees. If you're not in your hands and knees, you're sitting and you did your cat cow. That version looked like this. But stay hands and knees. We're going to work on a little bit of rotation in each direction. So now what I want you to do is you're going to take one hand and reach all the way up to the ceiling as high as you can. Open your chest. Big inhale, exhale, reach all the way to the other side. Weave it through. Inhale, reach all the way up, open your chest, rotating through your rib cage, not your shoulder, pushing the ground away with the stationary arm. Reach all the way through, thread that needle, exhale. Inhale, rotate up high. Exhale, thread it through. Two more. Inhale. Exhale, thread all the way through. Big reach, rib cage rotation. Or inhale, rib cage rotate up. Push the ground away with the stationary arm. Exhale, thread it through. Switch to the other side. Big inhale, reach all the way up high. We're gonna do 5. Exhale, thread it through. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Inhale, up, up, up. Reach, open the chest, push the ground away with that stationary hand. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, up and reach. Rotate. Big rotation. Exhale, thread through. I think 2 more. I lost track. Inhale. Exhale. One more big one. Rotate through the rib cage. Mid back. Really push. Exhale. Reach, 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 reach. Really extend yourself. Beautiful job. Those felt amazing. Loved it. That felt so good for me too. Okay, so now we've got some mobility. We're going to look at posture and the important parts. Let's see. Yeah, the comments. Tessa's trying to help. Brendan said we can hear you, Jeanette. Yeah. Oh, I hope that's all worked out. Okay, let me get my comment box open. How do I get back to that? There it is. Okay. The comments are, I don't know why I can't see them all sometimes. Okay. All right. So let's talk about posture. Now that we've got some mobility and our rib cage is moving, let's talk about how we should posture to support your pelvic floor and your core. So I want you all to stand up, and if you have shoes on, take them off. If you can be barefoot, because we have sensory nerves in our feet. And based on all of the sensations we get in our feet is how you posture. So it's actually really, really important that you can sense the ground underneath you. So go ahead and stand. Let me just make sure I can position myself so you all can see me. Feet in particular. Okay, so let's talk about posture from the ground up. So let's all pay attention to our feet. Now, what I want you to sense is the weight under your big toe, the ball of the foot, the big toe there, the ball of the pinky toe, and then the heel. Find those 3 points of contact on both of your feet. Okay, once you've found them, really tune into the weight bearing through each point. Is it all forward? Is it all back? Is it equal? You want to find equal. So you have equal weight through the big toe, pinky toe, and heel. Okay, once you're there, now what I want you to sense into are your feet collapsing way in? Do you have a nice arch? Are you able to create an arch? I want you all to try and create a little bit of an arch in your feet, not by curling your toes under, but by thinking about there being this wire, an imaginary wire between your ball of your big toe and your heel. And you're just trying to pull that wire together. So it's this subtle lifting of your arches in your feet. Now, if you are someone who has had chronically flat feet, that might be very challenging. Those muscles in that sling system underneath the plantar fascia and the other supporting muscles and tendons under there may be stretched and weakened, but that's okay. You can work on it. Now, a question I got the other day when I was teaching this is, well, should we use arch supports in our shoes? Well, the answer is yes and no. So, for instance, my train of thought is if someone is having pain and they cannot support their arch, I will put arch support in their shoes. Or if there's pain up the chain that's related to that. But we will work on strengthening the internal arch system so that your feet have their own arch support in them. Because if you continuously over support something, the muscles are just going to adapt to that and not do their job. So you want to strengthen. Quite frankly, I think we over support often. I prefer if people could walk around more times barefoot and let their feet be strength or work on the strength in their feet. I even will do some weightlifting barefoot so that I can feel the ground, grip the ground, and push the ground away when I'm doing squats or deadlifts. Anywho, next area I want to work on and pay attention to for posture is your knees. What are your knees doing? Are they completely locked out? Are they too bent? Are they soft and like ready to go, like kind of an athletic stance? That's what we want. We want the latter there. So a lot of times people will lock their knees out, and I mean this in a very loving way. It is a lazy posture. The body likes to be efficient, and by locking the knees out, you're relying on ligaments and the joint integrity to hold you up. When you're soft and active, the muscles are doing the job, and so you're technically going to burn more calories because the muscles are engaged and helping you stand. If you didn't have muscles helping you stand, you would just fall down. But the integrity of your joints can help. The capsules around your joints can help, but you don't want to do that. That's how we get issues in the joints. So always have soft knees, active arches and feet. Next up the chain is your pelvis. Where's your pelvis located right now? Are you in what I call the duck posture? Are you tucking your tail way under? Or are you in this nice neutral position where the pelvis is level and aligned over your base of support? This is arched forward. This is tucked back. You want to find that happy medium right in the middle there, pelvis neutral. Okay. So when you are forward in this arched position, everything back here gets really tight. Everything in the front gets very stretched and elongated. Super stretched makes it very difficult to contract. These muscles are like, they have little fibers, muscle fibers like this that contract and grab each other. When they're at their max capacity, they can't grab and contract very well. Okay. So when you're more neutral, it puts the system on a happier length tension relationship. When you're like this, very lengthened in the front, very short and tightened in the back. Weakened, weakened. Okay, so finding neutral helps you engage all of that. Now, below that pelvic floor also will lengthen the muscles in the front, shorten the muscles in the back. So, if you're chronically in this position and you have issues with controlling your bladder, those muscles are very lengthened. If you have trouble with constipation, these muscles are really shortened. So, by finding neutral, those muscles are like, oh, I'm in a happier length. Okay, so posture is really important for that area. And it starts from the ground up. So we've made it to our pelvis. Above that is the rib cage. Is your rib cage flared forward? Is it really tucked under? Are you gripping through your middle core here? Or are you lined up nicely because your pelvis is neutral, now your rib cage is lined up directly over it? That's what we want. I don't want you to have flared ribs. Again, lose efficiency of your diaphragm and your abs. So find a little bit of a neutral without gripping. You don't want to be gripping through here. If you end up gripping your upper abs, that's just going to put a ton of pressure downwards on your pelvic floor. So if you're someone who has weakness in your pelvic floor, you're putting yourself at risk for prolapse or other issues like incontinence. So finding a neutral rib cage as well, very important. Okay, last couple areas, shoulder alignment. Oftentimes, when I say fix your posture to someone, they immediately go just like this. But that's literally the posture I just told you not to be in. So that arches your back, it flares your ribs forward. Yes, your shoulders are now nice and aligned, and your neck feels a little better because you're nice and aligned. But that's not how you want to do it. You want to think about lengthening up through your entire spine. You want to think about if I grabbed one hair on the top of your head and pulled it, you would go with it. So finding that length through your spine will actually engage your deep corset muscle because that's what the corset does. It stabilizes you, holds you in, pulls you up and together. So make sure that when you think about posture to get your shoulders back, you're not just like going like this. Okay. So lengthen up through your spine, pelvis neutral. Shoulders will kind of fall back on their own unless you're very, very tight with your pecs forward. Then we work on stretching your pecs and strengthening your mid back. Okay. Last spot. What is your neck doing? Are you really far forward? Are you like probably not this one? I don't see many people walking around with a double chin posture. You're probably a little forward. Now, once you've found that elongation and alignment below, your neck will have a easier time finding neutral. So level chin, straightforward, everything lines up nicely. Knees are unlocked, but not bent. Feet are engaged. Now, your body is super sensitive. A nervous system is very sensitive to changes in what we call proprioception, balance, posture. This might feel weird. It might be different than what you're used to. And if that is the case, you might feel like, oh my God, I'm falling forward, or oh man, I'm really backwards. But you're probably more aligned, and your body's going to recalibrate and be like, oh, that's my neutral. That feels good. And then eventually you won't have to think about these things. They'll just happen. And the length tension of many muscle groups will improve, and you'll have less discomfort and better efficiency and better pelvic floor contractions and function and better core contraction and function. So really, really important that you work on these subtle shifts in your posture. Um, if you feel compelled in the comments, let me know how this feels to you. And if you can engage your deep core and feel everything pull up and in. So resume your nice posture and let's work on breathing in this posture. What I want you to do now is do your big inhales. So now that I've told you to really just be active, you got to be able to let your rib cage expand around that. So you're going to inhale, exhale, pull everything up and in. Stay lengthened, stay tall. Inhale, exhale, pull it all up and in. Be tall, core engaged, ribs come down. Let's do two more. Inhale, exhale. Beautiful. One more. Inhale. Exhale, pelvic floor up and in, deep core. Good. All right, here we go. Now we're going to work on a little bit of core in standing. So a little bit of balance is going to come into play here too. A lot of joints, a lot of muscles, a lot of things are going to work together right now. Slow and intentional with this. Okay. So what you're going to do, we're going to be marching in place, but it's going to be slow and controlled, and you're going to be using your core to stabilize. All right, so we're going to lift your right leg first. As you prepare to lift your right leg, you're going to shift your weight to the left. You're going to ground your foot in. Your knee is going to be soft. You're going to be nice and tall through that side. You're going to activate that glute. You're going to keep your core engaged on your exhale. Your next exhale, you're going to lift your knee up, lower it down. Inhale, reset, shift your weight to the right leg. Same setup, grip the ground, core engaged, glute, knee is soft. Exhale, lift the left knee. Inhale, reset, shift weight to left, ground, lift, exhale. Inhale, shift, exhale, lift. Repeat that for 10 more. Really stay stable through your core. Very intentional lifting. The other thing to be really, really important or really cognizant of is what's happening at your pelvis as you shift your weight. Are you dropping into it or can you stay active through it and keep your pelvis level? That is really important. Okay. So if I had some weakness in this glute here on this left side, what I would see is a drop on the opposite side, and this pelvis might or this hip might stick out, and you might lose your balance to that side. So before you lift, really be active with this glute on the left, core engaged, slow, steady exhale. Let that ankle work. Shift over. Be intentional with that other leg. Ground it in. Push the floor away. Glute is active. Core is engaged. That was really cool. When you slow it down and be very intentional, you can get a lot out of that. Muscle groups are working with more intention and probably fatiguing in a different way. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Tessa. I forgot to say hi to you. That was very rude of me, and I am so sorry. Oh my God. I was just so happy you were helping me with Jeanette. Let's see. Oh, we've got Annie and Larry, and who else is in here? Hi, everyone. Okay, next, we've got a little extra time. We're going to spend a little extra time. Let's continue that theme of balance and core engagement and a little bit of glute engagement. This is a little harder. What you're going to do now is we're going to add rotation and that knee coming up to your opposite elbow. So a little bit of a crunch action. So you're going to exhale, meet the elbow to the knee. Stay on one side the whole time for 10. Really think about crunching, pulling the core and pelvic floor in. Your head and your eyes follow the motion of the spine. So make sure it's looking with you. Does that make sense? Look in the direction you're going. I think I have three more. Two more. Woo! Okay. All right, Kayla. Tomorrow might be a rest day from the gym. Muscles are yelling at me. Okay. Switch sides, 10 on the other side. On the exhale, rotate, twist. Inhale, reset. Exhale, twist. Elbow to knee or in that direction. They don't have to touch. You're doing your best. If balance is really a problem for you, you can hold on to something. It's okay. It's a starting point. It's information. It's data collection. It's all good. You're doing your best. And that's great. That's all we ask every day. And we talked about this one other class, your best will look different every single day. But if you give what you have in your tank, your energy reserves, if you give all of it, you gave 100%. Just might look different each time. And that's all right. Beautiful. Okay, let's see. So that's going to move us forward into the next classes where we get into more function. Let's end with a little bit of, yeah, let's end with some mobility and a little bit of relaxation. I think taking time to work through the posture was really, really important. So join me on your back. Let's do a little bit of happy baby. Happy baby is this move here. You go really wide. What a view for you all. I'll switch that view. Oh my gosh, you gotta laugh at yourself, right? Now, if you can't grab your toes, you can grab your ankles, you can grab your shins, you can just whatever you can to just get into this position. It's more for your hips. Want to get nice and wide with it? You can rock because you're happy, like a happy baby. Deep breathe into this super open pelvis position. Big inhales into that pelvic bowl. Let it all go. Lengthen it. This is the end of the class, the end of your day. Let it go. Oh, wow, that sounded like Frozen. Let it go. Keep in this position for a little bit longer. Continue the deep breaths. Good. Come out of it. Knees are bent. One foot goes on the opposite knee. See if you can see me. You can stay here. Push the knee away. If you need a bigger stretch, reach between your thighs with one hand, and then the other hand grabs underneath the thigh and pull it up towards you. Big inhales into that tightness in that hip. Send that air and energy and say, let go. Rock left and rock right. And find a spot where it might feel a little tighter and hold it there. So the muscle you're stretching in your hip right now connects to your sacrum or that keystone muscle between, or muscle, bone between your pelvis, kind of the tailbone area there. So when you go to one side, you're actually increasing your stretch. So you might feel that. Switch sides. And you might sense that one hip is tighter than the other. Holy moly, my left, much tighter than the right. Hmm. Deep breathing, big inhales, so important right now. Come out of that gently. Feet come to the ground, knees are bent, feet are touching. Drop your knees out to the side. I believe this is called reclined bounded angle. No, bounded tri. Oh gosh, I'm not even gonna try. I really need to learn my yoga phrases. Laying down butterfly stretch. That's what I would call it. Big inhale. This is a very open pelvis position. Let it go. Big soft belly. Send the air down. Exhales are normal. Let the recoil just happen. You're not forcing the exhales right now. Big inhale. Exhale normal. Beautiful. When you're ready, bring your knees together. Roll onto your side. Push yourself up to sitting. Hi, Angela. Thank you, Tessa, giving me grace. Appreciate you, girl. Okay, so um that was class tonight. So we talked a lot about posture and how important that is for the efficiency and the function of your core and pelvic floor. Who would have known that posture has a different implication for us? So the things I'll recap real quick. Equal weight bearing through the front of your feet and heels, and you create a little arch. Knees are soft and unlocked above, kind of an athletic stance. Pelvis is neutral, not tipped forward, not tipped back. Rib cage in line with pelvis, not flared forward, not tucked under. Shoulders relaxed and aligned down over the hips. Neck in alignment, no forward head. And that's that. Um, Yeah, so we're going to move forward into next week and do more functional tasks that require us to focus on the core and the pelvic floor activating at the right times. And by the end of this 12-week series, we'll probably get into very gentle plyometric type movements. So for anyone who's having any issues with leaking or heaviness or prolapse symptoms during walking, going downstairs, laughing, coughing, sneezing, and jogging. The very last class will be helpful in moving forward with helping you with that, I would suspect. Okay, so I'm going to check out. Hi, Lauren. I'm going to check out the comments. I'm going to give you all a few minutes to ask me questions, comments, concerns. Reminder, shirts are for sale. Venmo if you feel compelled. And you do not need to be perfect to make progress. You need to be consistent. You need to stack up those habits and stick with them. Brenda, you're welcome. Appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Jeanette, you made it in without without the video. Good job. Next week you'll have it down pat. You will get it and you'll come in and be ready to rock and roll. You're welcome, Allie. Aw, Angela, you're so sweet. I appreciate all of you. You're so wonderful. Thank you for showing up for yourself as always. This is for you. This is, a way to better yourself in a different way. So really admire you all for coming and doing that for yourself. Let me know if you need anything. I'm always available through messaging, comments in the Facebook group. If you have friends that want to join, invite them to the group. So that might be the second challenge for you all. If you have a shirt, post it, tag me, and add 5 friends to our group so we can help spread the knowledge, the word, support each other more, because the more we all do, like the more we do better, all of us collectively do better. So, anywho, love you all. I will see you all next Tuesday.